TV News Express, EFCC stopped a service of charges on Binance chief. FIRS alleges NEC slams 200 million naira fine on AEDC over violation and direct refund to consumers. FIDA raises alarm over congested Akwa Ibom prison. On the foreign scene, Sierra Leone declared drug abuse national emergency. And in sport, NDLEA pledges increased involvement in sports to check drug abuse. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express and Global Television. We are live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Anthony Momodu. Rahama Asadao has been appointed by the Office of the Vice President Kashim Shettima. She is to serve on the Technical Committee of the Investment in Digital and Creative Enterprise Program. Rahama and other appointees were inaugurated into the committee by Vice President Shettima. The Technical Committee on the IDICE program is chaired by the Special Advisor to the President on Economic Matters, Office of the Vice President, Dr. Kolade Faswa. The House of Representatives has extended the resumption of plenary from April 16 to 23, 2024, to allow the completion of the ongoing renovations in the chamber. Clerk of the House, Dr. Yahya Danzaria, who announced this, says extension is to allow for the completion of renovations to the Green Chamber for its readiness for plenary sessions henceforth. The House had adjourned plenary on March 20th to April 16th to apparently enable members participate in the Easter and Ramadan festivities. The Benue State Independent Electoral Commission on Friday announced that elections would be conducted into the councils of 23 local government areas of the state on July 6, 2023. The chairman of BSEC, Dr. John Chen, who alongside his team were inaugurated into the office by Governor Hyacinth Alia on March 29, 2024, made a disclosure during a stakeholders meeting held in Makurdi, the state capital, to unveil action plans as well as activities lined up towards the exercise. Chen says the elections would be conducted for chairman and councillors into the local government councils and council wards, including the expected newly created council wards in the state. He says the move followed the governor's charge that the commission should quickly swing into action and kickstart the processes and procedures aimed at conducting free, fair, and credible elections in the state. The National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has debunked a purported list of caretaker committee members circulating on social media and published in some national dailies. The Rivers State Governor, Sir Sim Fubara, who revealed this after a meeting with the NWC at the National Secretariat, Wadata Plaza in Abuja, restated that the resolutions of a meeting held between the NWC and members of the Board of Trustees and the PDP Governors Forum in Abuja in March on the issue remain valid. Governor Fubara emphasized that the party stands on the agreement reached on the issue as encapsulated in the letter by the NWC to the state chairman of the PDP dated March 27th, adding that no amount of intimidation, clandestine moves, and wasteful lobbying and needless expenditure of public funds will change the position already taken. The International Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA, has expressed concern over the overcrowded Medium Custodial Center in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital. FIDA described a situation where a prison facility originally designed for 600 inmates but has exceeded its capacity to 1,715 as an invitation for humanitarian crisis if not urgently addressed. The state branch president, Barrister Ikwo Abia Esquire, in collaboration with the Medical Women Association of Nigeria and the Youth Ally Foundation leadership, gathered toward the prison facility and took time off to engage the inmates, especially the women convicts. The FIDA leader, who decried the condition and welfare of the inmates, frowned at the conjecture and assured that her group was ready to cooperate with the prison authorities with a view to decongest the facility to avoid humanitarian tragedy. In order to further strengthen the reporting system of discrimination against persons with disabilities at airports, the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, in partnership with the Center for Ability, Rehabilitation and Empowerment, is establishing disability desk to address issues of discrimination emanating from air travelers. Fauzia Lukman has more.
The National Commission for Persons with Disabilities have approved the deployment of its commission staff for disability desks at local and international airports across the country for easier access to persons with disabilities. While handling over some assistance devices and operational guidelines of aviation accessibility project for persons with disabilities, founder of the Center for Ability, Rehabilitation and Empowerment, Dr. Chike Okogu, appealed to the federal government to establish service desks in all local and international airports, as well as increasing the budgetary allocation for the commission.
Beyond this project, funding is important for the lives of persons with disabilities. Please, Mr. President, we are begging. We persons with disabilities are not beggars, but we are now saying, we're using the word please, sir, in the midterm budgetary allocation. Can we have at least 1 trillion naira for persons with disabilities? Yes, it is international standards.
Dr. James Lalu, the Executive Secretary, National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, in his response, expressed commitment to deploy manpower that would ensure sustainability of the project.
Based on the powers vested in us to protect the right and dignity of persons with disabilities, we are going to dig deeper with JFC to find out the root cause of this problem, and we must review all their policies and make sure that they align with the provisions of the law and the regulations that are here in Nigeria for the protection of the rights of persons with disabilities. Today, we are taking over a project by CHEERS where we made the initial commitment for the sustainability of this project. The National Commission for Persons with Disabilities will deploy our personnel into the Nigerian airport to provide the necessary support for persons with disabilities.
The ES further appealed to the airport authority to secure an appropriate space where its staff can train to provide support for easy movement of persons with disabilities. Fauzia Lukman, Global TV News.
Olukayode Agbetokun has authorized the promotion of 10,581 deserving junior officers of the Inspectorate Cadre and the rank and file. In line with the directive, the Deputy Inspector General of Police overseeing the Department of Finance and Administration has been tasked with coordinating efforts alongside the Commission of Police to commence the promotion process promptly. The IG, while emphasizing the zeal of the force leadership to foster a culture of meritocracy and career advancement, reiterated the pivotal role of timely promotions in enhancing the morale of officers and bolstering the overall effectiveness of the force. The Nigerian Police Force further congratulated all officers slated for promotion and urged them to uphold the highest standards of professionalism, integrity, and service to the nation. President Bola Tinubu has pledged his support for the proposal for the direct election of members into the Parliament of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. The chairman of ECOWAS stated this when he swore in 97 members into the 6th ECOWAS Parliament at the International Conference Center in Abuja. The parliament is composed of 115 seats. Each member state has a guaranteed minimum of 5 seats, while the remaining 40 seats are shared based on population. They include 35 members from Nigeria and 5 each from Benin Republic, Cape Verde, the Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Togo. Others include 8 members from Ghana, 7 from Cote d'Ivoire, and 6 each from Senegal and Guinea. Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso have no representatives in the 6th Parliament, as these states have expressed their intention to exit the bloc. You're watching News Express coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms you are using at Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When News Express returns, NEC slams a 200 million naira fine on AEDC over violation and directed refunds to consumers. These stories and more coming right after this break. Do stay with us. Welcome back from the break. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcasts of News Express. Thank you for staying with us. On the foreign scene, rail services were hit in large parts of the UK, including key tourist routes, as train drivers launched a new strike amid cost of living pressures and decades-high inflation. Members of the ASLEF union representing train drivers are taking part in a 3-day rolling strike, which will also affect express services to London's Gatwick, Stansted and the Heathrow Airport. Union Chief Mika Whelan blamed the industrial action on the cost of living crisis created by the economic ineptitude of the Tories Conservatives that have been in power for 14 years. ASLEF Chief Whelan, speaking in front of striking drivers at the London Euston station, said that offer from last April would never be accepted by members, describing it as ridiculous and a land grab for all the terms and conditions they have negotiated over the years. Sierra Leone's President Julius Maada Bio says the drug abuse in the country was a national emergency, outlining plans to combat a synthetic drug popular with young people. A task force, including government agencies and NGOs, would be responsible for prevention, treatment, social services support, law enforcement, and community engagement. Bio also says his government was working to take down drug trafficking networks. In business, the National Agricultural Land Development Authority, NALDA, has distributed essential agricultural inputs to farmers in Abia, Kebbi, and Yobe states. The initiative is part of a broader effort to advance the federal government's food security agenda and assist farmers nationwide in maximizing crop cultivation, thereby improving yield and boosting food production. The empowerment program has seen the distribution of fertilizers, herbicides, and improved seeds such as maize to farmers in Abia and Yobe, and rice to those in Kebbi, which are expected to cover half a hectare of farmland for each farmer. The distribution event in Abia was held at the NALDA Institute of Agribusiness and Entrepreneurship, where beneficiaries from all local governments, including those nominated by the state government and various farmers associations, received their packages. Executive Secretary of NALDA, Prince Paul Ikone, who led the distribution, emphasized the program's importance and assured of continued support to the farmers. The scheduled arraignment of Binance Holdings Limited and 2 of its executives for alleged tax evasion was stalled over the complaint that one of the executives had not been served with the charge sheet. Counsel for the Federal Inland Revenue Service, which is prosecuting the case, Moses Ide, told the court that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission denied the court bailiff access to the detained Binance executive. The 2 executives charged alongside with the firm are Tigran Gabayan and Nadim Ajawala, who escaped from custody of the National Security Advisor and is currently on the run. The FIS lawyer, Ide, says the bailiff was unable to serve the charge sheet on Gabayan, who was in custody of the EFCC. He therefore made an oral application to serve the charge sheet on Gabayan in the courtroom through his lawyer, Chukwuka Ikwazo Esayen. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NEC, has slammed a fine of 200 million naira on the Abuja Electricity Distribution PLC AEDC over the DISCO's non-compliance with the supplementary order to the April 2024 multi-year tariff order 2024 for power distribution companies, DISCOs. NEC disclosed this enforcement action against AEDC in a letter to its acting managing director, Victor Jelabi, dated April 5, 2024. According to the letter, AEDC was fined for the flagrant breach of the Commission's order for failing to comply with the prescribed customer band classification for the tariff billing. The Commission said this decision followed a detailed review and customer feedback, which revealed that AEDC had applied the new tariff of 225 naira per kilowatt hour to all customer bands, contrary to the order, which was designed to ensure fair billing practices. The Commission also mandated the AEDC to reimburse through the provision of balance of customer tokens that the affected customers would be entitled to receive the applicable rates, and all token reimbursements shall be issued to the affected customers by April 11, 2024. The DISCO is also required to pay the 200 million naira fine and file evidence of compliance with the directives with the Commission by April 12, 2024. NEC said this action underscores its commitment to protecting consumer rights and ensuring equitable practices within the Nigeria's electricity sector. Imports of raw materials into the country rose by 25% to 3 trillion naira in 2023. This is according to the foreign trade statistics data published by the National Bureau of Statistics. The major raw materials imported during the period included sugarcane, other lubricating oil meant to be mixed further, preparations of milk containing vegetable fat and oil, mixtures of odoriferous substances, sheets for engineering, amongst others. The Chief Executive Officer of the Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise, Muda Yusuf, linked the increase in raw material imports in naira terms to the depreciation of the naira. In the last few years, manufacturers had lamented that over-reliance on imported raw materials had been an albatross on the real sector of the economy. During an annual general meeting of the Apapa branch of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, the immediate past man president, Mansour Ahmed, said the excessive reliance on imported raw materials had significantly weakened the Nigerian manufacturing sector. Mansour recommended a public-private partnership that aimed to encourage backward integration, import substitution, and other measures that would curb excessive import of raw materials. On the entertainment scene, husband of popular singer Mercy Chinwo, Pastor Blessed Uzochikwa, has filed a direct criminal complaint against 5 persons for their criminal defamation through his lawyers, led by Pelumi Olajebesi. Consequently, a chief magistrate court in Wuse Zone 2, Abuja, has summoned 5 social media users for criminal defamation of the reputation of the gospel singer Mercy Chinwo and her husband, Blessed Uzochikwa. Mercy Chinwo's husband said the alleged act of criminal defamation was carried out through deliberate circulation of injurious falsehood, cyberbullying, and cyber stalking. The 5 defendants are Okoronkwo Ejike, Kingsley Ibe, DJ Spoilt Kid, Terence Eckert, and Samuel Ogozie, and they are to appear on or before the court on April 23rd, 2024. In the exciting world of sport, the Kwara State Command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has promised increased involvement in sports events as part of efforts to wage war against drug abuse and child trafficking. NDLEA's Kwara Command Bashir Ibrahim made the promise in Ilori when members of the state chapter of Sports Writers Association of Nigeria, SWAN, paid him a courtesy visit. The commander says the decision had become necessary because of the recent challenges faced in policing drug traffickers in the state. Speaking on the danger it poses to sport, the commander noted that youths were particularly vulnerable to drug abuse. The Kwara SWAN chairman Ayodeji Ismail, while speaking, said sports writers were aware of the dangers of the menace had continued to pose to sports and youth development. After a long wait, the Super Falcons and Bayana will face off today as both countries battle for a spot in the women's football event at the 2024 Olympic Games ticket in Paris. Nigeria and South Africa, arguably the 2 best women's football squads in Africa, clash in a two-legged affair as they battle for one of the two tickets from Africa for the Paris 2024 Olympic Women's Football event. The first of the two matches will take place Friday at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja, followed by the second contest Tuesday, April 9th in Pretoria, South Africa. With so much to play for, today's clash is said to be one of the most mouth-watering clashes in Africa's women's football. Speaking ahead of the game, Falcons captain Rasheedat Ajibade says the team was determined to put an end to the long wait. Three-time African Games champion and world record holder in women's 100 hurdles Tobi Amosun will begin her Wanda Diamond League season in Xiamen on April 20th. Amosun has been listed among 12 Olympic gold medalists and 27 world champions who will light up the spectacular Egretta Stadium in Xiamen. The 26-year-old will face three reigning global champions in the sprint hurdles. As we end Global News Express, let's take a look at our top stories. EFCC stopped a service of charges on Binance chief and FIS alleges. NEC slams a 200 million naira fine on AEDC over violation and direct refunds to customers. FIDA raises alarm over congested Akwa Ibom prison. On the foreign scene, Sierra Leone declares drug abuse national emergency. In sports, NDLEA pledges increased involvement in sports to check drug abuse and trafficking. That's it on News Express, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times Channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using the Global TV, NG, and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Anthony Momodu saying thank you for watching and see you again.